Well, all right. We're here post-event. What's your name?
Javier Rodriguez.
What did you do?
I won the BSF Sprintfest Shop Challenge.
Using what deck?
Chainsawman. Pretty much was my first try at it. Really tested kind of quick with the deck, so didn't have much practice with it. So I just, wanted to try it out.
All right. Any shout-outs?
Yeah, pretty much to Ej'scast Gaming, my team, mostly my brother as well, since me and him test a lot. We both went to Worlds, and we played a lot of big events. So pretty much we tried to speed run the testing as fast as we could, since there wasn't much time from the event and from when the set came out. So yeah, and also other friends that I test with as well, just to quick study a few matchups. But yeah, pretty much. I think I might do some changes, but I guess through future testing, we just might have to find out.
All right, then. Can you break down for us the deck list that you played?
Oh yeah, sure. Let's get into it. Okay, I guess I can start with the one-offs. Climax Swapper, kind of free from the graveyard. Kind of new to seeing this type of cards, really. But yeah, pretty good. Wouldn't up it. I'll just leave it at 1. Now this one, I've tried to pretty much try to up it because I do like this combination with the level 2, and then but yeah, I might try to up it. Other people don't run it. I do understand why, but I think it's a strong thing to actually keep. But I guess through future testing, we'll see if we up it or cut it, or it just stays the same. Then the other one-off would be this one. I guess Climax Swapping from the deck is not as common as we normally would think, so kind of like this card. To be honest, I can try to see if I can up it to 2, because I actually like this in the early game, obviously with the Climax combo that obviously everyone's gonna be using from now on, to see if it works, because normally you need to resolve the Climax combo as much as possible, because you got to get a lot of advantage out of it, at least not late in the gaming, but as soon as possible. So I'm gonna try it up at 2. Obviously standard Brainstorm is the only reason that we can play it. It's really good. Other than that, the Jimenos, obviously we need this for a finishing game. And obviously good Climax, like Brainstorm, that we can plus out of it something. So yeah, pretty much not much to say about this. Obviously a star of the deck. Obviously Brainstorm nonetheless. I really enjoy the card. Obviously one that gives you your early game pluses while you put some pressure, which is very necessary, which is the reason why I think I might be up in that, just to get the Climax as fast as possible and keep reusing them as much as I can. Yeah. This level 0, really loved it a lot. Pretty much when you just attack with this, creating good stock, or even like with suicides, like the bombs from 0. And since they're already reversed, you just might as well get a free stock out of it. This card is too good. And even in the late game, it can make you a tool to just make fast stocks and pretty much keep putting pressure with your climaxes, which I find out that is pretty good. So definitely love the card. Wouldn't cut it out. Obviously, main burn and searches, just in case if you're just missing that extra damage to get to level 1, and obviously get whatever you need, since this deck is kind of like a toolbox. So definitely pretty useful. Used to play it at 4, cut it down to 3, because the deck has so much search that definitely you can get through this pretty fast. So yeah, but at 4 is still a good number. It just comes down to what you're trying to look forward to with your deck. Obviously salvage from the waiting room, pretty important in this deck at sometimes. So definitely I've seen it at 4, but I kind of like it at 3 space wise. The deck is too fast. You can get to whatever you need as fast as possible, but maybe through further testing we can finally see it at 4 maybe. Obviously bread and butter of the deck to set up your level 1 game, which is getting the easy revenges, plus being a bomb for zeros is just pretty good, especially with this card just too good of a combination at the turn. And putting the card back to the bottom of the deck is just a good thing to know that at the end of its deck, it has free damage you can hit. And obviously, the card, this guy is really ridiculous, being 10k when you have a full board with them. Obviously, a drawback, can't use backups or events, but you need to use your easy revenges first and then play this. That way you can set that up. Because this thing is really good, especially in certain matchups, like against the standby climax decks. Really good to break the boards to delay their plays as much as possible, just so you can get to your plays way easier. Obviously, the reason of the deck, pretty stateful, not much to actually say about it. Salvage, go to memory, helps compression. Obviously this other one-off, I actually like it. A lot of people have cut it. Maybe I might try cutting it out just in case, but I do actually like the fact that it can put pressure in level 2 if you don't got any climaxes. Sometimes that happens, you don't draw them, but you still need to put in that pressure. So definitely this card can help for that. And really big too. Obviously there's the reason why I play the level 0. This one, because definitely seeing the top 3. It's pretty important, especially when you're trying to sequencing an order of attacks. That's pretty big, especially also after the draw phase, before the clock. If you're okay in hand, you can just see if it's worth clocking or not, if you don't actually need the clock. But yeah, pretty good, and obviously takes a lot of advantage out of the
And why only one?
Same reasoning for the demon, is just the space. It's pretty difficult because this game relies a lot on his early game. So definitely, if I can try to cut other cards, because the end game is just too tight on it, that you need to cut early game, and this deck with no level 1 combos, you pretty much are just relying on that level 0 game to be consistent and be as fast as possible. So it's the reason, like, I wish I could up this more, but it gets pretty hard if you don't get to your early game really fast and set it up as fast as you can. Obviously the free refresh backup, not much to say about it. This card, normally when you get to play it, but I normally use it a lot in matchups. From the clock effect, bouncing the card sometimes in certain matchups is really important. So definitely at 1 is good, more than 1 no. But it's also another card that someone can cut if you're looking to cut something. So possibly it could be a future cut to try out more testing when it comes to the level 2 and the demon. So we'll have to see on that. Obviously your mid game, this guy's pretty important. Obviously, especially with the easy revenge, especially when you just combine him with this, it's just too much advantage, because at least you don't have to do his effect blind, and it helps you a lot on your mid game to pretty much determine if you can get that free stock out of it or not. And obviously, getting to KO anything in front at this type of level is pretty consistent. To just dominate from that point on. So yeah, and definitely goes with the early game to make as much stock as possible, so you can at least try to play 2 of this. If you get to play 1, I mean, it's not bad, but I wouldn't say to 3 because that would be too optimistic, obviously. But if you can, I mean, it'll be a good time you're gonna be having in that game. But yeah, try to at least get to 2. This as most as you can get, especially with the decks that are running around. So yeah, obviously finisher, not much to say about this. Just the fact that because of the easy revenge, you can get to pretty much look and control, at least to a certain point, that you can at least get 1 or 2 damage out of this. It's just pretty crazy, and the fact that it's free as well is just too good. And obviously being an encore, even if on the crackback they manage to reverse it, you can just discard a card, and since it's free, you just need to have another climax of it just to resolve it again. If it gets to that point, obviously, on this point the game should be over. even on the crackback, depending on what deck you're playing against. Or you just might as well finish them off. But yeah, pretty good. I do like the fact that salvages, so even if you get to only have one in hand, you can easily get to the other two. So yeah, obviously if you get to manage to get them in your hand, I mean, might as well. There are more things you can get out of this from value on the salvaging. So yeah, pretty good, I would say. And obviously, yes, the climaxes that we use for a climax combo finisher, the early game. This is the one thing that we gotta abuse a lot, getting a free stock out of this activation. And the effect to just put in the waiting room too fast, at least is good before a refresh. And plussing out of it is just insane. So definitely, that's why I think this deck needs to capitalize a lot on its early game and try to reuse this card at least on your first 3 turns, at least 1 or twice if you get to sculpt the hand really well, or you get a really good hand at the beginning. Like, you just get too much advantage out of it. So yeah. But yeah, that's the deck profile on this. Definitely this deck has a lot of things to evolve, a lot of things that people can try depending on how the meta actually pretty much evolves from now on. So yes, definitely there's a lot of room to improve or even try spicy attacks. Definitely I'm going to be testing out more things because the mirror is going to be something very important. So yeah, pretty much be sure to stay tuned to the channel. We're going to be upping a lot of like profiles, matchups, you know, help out a lot of people. I do understand that obviously there's a lot of people that need more consistent things and more feedback on things. So yeah. So well, see ya, and thanks you for watching. Hope you support the channel.